Welcome back to my Lore Master journey through all of the classic Night Elf zones. We still have a whole lot left to do in Darkshore, but I think I'm going to go through all of the remaining Buzzbox quests and then work my way through the rest of the zone from there. So without further preamble, let's do these quests. I'm going to do what I did last time and reread all of the quests that I picked up in previous parts as a refresher, to keep the story more linear. A tiny voice crackles from deep within the machine. Whispering here, the next buzz box is north of Aberdeen on the beach. So that buzz box is number 411, and it needs 3 thresher eyes for its repairs. They're just off the coast. The Darkshore Threshers. Sorry about that. Just like last time, when you give the buzzbox the goods, it'll spit out your reward. What? No, I'm fine. The machine's hatch is open, and it seems to wait expectantly for 3 thresher eyes to be placed inside. The buzzbox hums to life soon after you place the thresher eyes inside. There's a moment of static before you hear a familiar tiny voice call out. Crawler wine's the best. What? Oh, you fixed it already? Wow, you're a fast one. So, would you like to fix another? You believe you hear a liquid being poured into a cup, followed by loud gulping sounds. The buzzbox gives a burst of static as you hear Whizbang begin to speak. The next buzzbox is number 323. Is north of Aberdeen, but where's the ale? What? Oh, it's on the road, so you shouldn't have trouble finding it near the bridge. Whizbang mumbles something incoherent before you hear a loud gulping sound. This one needs moonstalker fangs. 6 of them. Though you have yet to place the 6 moonstalker fangs inside, you believe you hear the sounds of static and incoherent gnome ramblings coming from within. Could someone else have fixed the machine already? The buzzbox suddenly leaps into action, and you can hear the distinct sounds of teeth being ground to dust coming from within. So you made it! That's excellent news. So, why don't you move along? Oh, unless you want another job. Over the boiling noises and dripping sounds coming from the machine, you hear Whizbang's wavering voice call out. Next one's far south down the road. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Just off to the side near a fence. I think I hid it in some bushes. Bushes. Yes. Buzzbox 525 takes grizzled scalps from those grizzled thistle bears. Boy, that's a mouthful. Grizzled. You hear more gulping sounds as the machine cuts out. Then suddenly it bursts back to life. 4! Figured I should pick up this quest while I'm up here too.
Need assistance?
A pirate's life ain't an easy one, landlubber. It ain't all about plundering and booze. Alas, me ship be sunk just offshore thanks to them pesky Threshadons. What I be needin' is me first mate back in working order. When I washed up in shore, the key for me first mate broke on the rocks and was pilfered by the beasties of Darkshore. Out of the corner of me eyes, I saw some of them raging crawlers, ferocious forest rider and murloc rummaging through the wreckage.
You have a great day now.
Okay, quick pit stop in Aberdeen to turn in some of the quests I did and grab the others before we start heading south. I'm devising a potion that requires rare mushrooms that grow only in a certain cave. The cave lies behind Cliff Spring Falls to the east and slightly north along the mountains. I would go there myself, but I was advised by the Grove of the Ancients to stay away from that place. Our venerable allies sense that the cave is the hiding place for a new evil in Darkshore. Please, gather the mushrooms for me, and while doing so, scout the cave to confirm the Ancients' fears.
Peace be with you.
Do you have my mushrooms? Have you been to the cave?
Del Nadre.
Many thanks. These mushrooms are fine specimens. And when you were at Cliff Spring Falls, did you find anything to confirm the warnings of the ancients? The ancients are wise, but I'd hoped that this time they were wrong.
Go in peace.
Onu, an ancient of lore at the Grove of the Ancients, knows of your journey to Cliffwater Falls and wishes to speak with you. The grove lies to the south, nestled near the mountains. The ancients are patient and wise, but if Onu seeks your counsel concerning what you saw in the falls, then I fear it is urgent. Cliffwater Falls, isn't it? Cliff Spring?
Del Nadre.
I feel like that happened in Redridge Mountains too, because the town there is called Lakeshore, but I think there's a quest that actually calls it Lake Ridge or something. Okay, and then we have Deep Ocean Vast Sea. Off the coast of Darkshore to our north are two wrecked ships, the Silver Dawning and the Mist Veil. Some time ago, both ships ran afoul of the blasted Murlocs as they sailed across the vast sea into Aberdeen. Now lie at the bottom of the ocean as trophies for those fiends. Both captains didn't make it out that night, and their logs and other effects are still below in lockboxes. I'd like for you to recover them for us. It would mean a lot to the crew members still around these parts.
How are you? See you soon.
The captains of those ships were good night elves, and they deserve a better fate than they were given. Perhaps tending to their personal effects will be the best way to put their spirits to rest.
Safe travels.
You've done us here in Aberdeen a great service, lass. We'll make sure that their effects are properly taken care of. As for you, please have this. It's the least I can do for someone with the bravery to set things right.
Be good.
And then I never picked up the Rem Travel breadcrumb quest.
What can I do for you?
What an honour it was when Master Greywhisker assigned me to work under the guidance of the great prospector Rem Travel. At the Academy in Ironforge, everyone knew of Rem Travel's great discoveries. But the prospector is rather, oblivious to his surroundings. We'd uncovered evidence of a great society. Horrible columns sprang forth from the ground and overran the site. Rem Travel never seemed to notice. Ran back to Aberdeen for help. Please travel south and see if the prospector is okay.
See you soon.
You got my attention.
I love crab. Crabs are the fruit of the sea. You can bake it, barbecue it, boil it, and broil it. They're pan-fried, deep-fried, and stir-fried. There's crab salad, crab soup, crab stew, pepper crab, lemon crab, whipper-root crab, and Ironforge surprise crab. That's about it. I'm here fishing right now, so I can't get any fine crab chunks. You can pick them out of reef crawlers and encrusted tide crawlers. You can make a lot with it. You can bake it, barbecue it, and boil it.
Watch your back. See you soon.
I am honored.
Your skills have already helped me in my endeavor. Could I impose on you again to help Grimclaw and his master Volkor? In addition, I can craft you a magical cloak that will allow you to walk unhindered by Darkshore's creatures while you look for him. To create the cloak, I'll need 5 fine Moonstalker pelts from a Moonstalker sire or matriarch to have enough material. The cats can be found near Wildbend River to the south, or even further south near Ashenvale.
Go in peace.
I think the context for that is that Grimclaw is Volkor's bear companion, and he pops up here. Like, he basically comes to Terenthus, and I guess they have a brief bit of communication where Terenthus realizes that Grimclaw's master, Volkor, is in need of aid, and that's why he sends you off on that quest. It's like a small interaction that happens after you turn in one of the previous ones, I think, so it's easy to miss. You find a corpse of a sea turtle that had beached itself on the coast of Darkshore some time ago. It's been scavenged by the Murlocs who've encamped themselves around the creature's remains. Still, there appear to be some suitable samples left on the creature's remains that Gwyneth, Bly, Legond, and Aberdeen might be able to make use of. The corpse of what appears to be some sort of giant sea mammal lies partially gutted on the beach. A wheelbarrow and various tools lie abandoned by this enormous beached sea creature, as though an attempt to study it had been made previously. Though Murlocs have scavenged this beast, enough of it remains to gather a suitable sample for Gwyneth Bly-Legond in Aberdeen. I think she speculates upon turn-in that it might have been the Explorers League who was scavenging, perhaps, from that thresher. Because we're pretty close to Rem Travel's expedition down this far. The half-devoured corpse of what might have been a giant sea mammal lies on the beach. A band of Murlocs, stronger than those found closer to Aberdeen, have taken up residence around the fallen creature. Enough of the creature remains that a suitable sample of its bones could be delivered to Gwyneth Bly-Legond in Aberdeen. Another set of sea turtle remains lie beached on the coastline. This set of remains has an abandoned carriage half buckled to the turtle's shell. Perhaps this creature was driven to the shoreline by unknown beings rather than beaching itself, as some of the other remains suggested. Powerful grey mist murlocs have made the carcass of this creature their current home. In the carriage you find a box with strange markings on it. Perhaps Gwyneth Bly-Legond in Aberdeen can make sense of it. This quest text is almost word for word the same as the other beached sea turtle. But I'm gonna say, since this one is also a beached turtle with a carriage on it, that this probably is the turtle that the Naga in Northern Ashenvale used to get inland, considering that there's a whole bunch of Naga around, like, the Zoram Strand. And then the beached turtle with the carriage on it that we saw in Northern Darkshore was how the Naga got to Methistra and Cliff Spring Falls. I sort of can't help but wonder if there's any significance to three beached sea creatures being, like, right next to each other. The Thresher there, the turtle here, and then the Naga carriage turtle over there. And I had said previously that I assumed they were beaching themselves because of, like, the corruption from Teldrassil. Though I also wonder if maybe the Naga were ever involved. Like, beyond just the ones with the carriages, if they're also responsible for these other ones being beached too, if they're, like, I don't know, driving them to shore? Not like riding them like transportation, but if they're attacking the local sea life? Or maybe even, you know how, like, ecologically speaking, if you have a predator come in or something, and then animals is searching for food because there is none in the area will then go to other places that they don't usually, if maybe it's like that kind of situation, but as usual, I am speculating completely wildly. You find a corpse of a sea turtle that had beached itself on the coast of Darkshore some time ago. It has been picked nearly clean by grey mist murlocs, the very ones who have now encamped themselves around the creature's remains. Still, there appear to be some suitable samples left on the creature's remains that Gwyneth Bly-Legond and Aberdeen might be able to make use of. The remains of what appear to be a giant thresher have washed ashore on the rocky inlet of the Twilight Shore. The thresher is several times larger than any of the other threshers spotted in these parts. Wherever it came from, this creature would not seem to have been native to Darkshore. Though the creature has been picked apart in places, enough of it remains to gather a suitable sample for Gwyneth Bly-Legond in Aberdeen.
What brings you here? Asha Fela,
Hello. Do you have any discoveries of creatures that have washed ashore to report on?
goddess watch over.
Another discovery for us to research. Well done. These remains will be properly studied once they get to Darnassus. Please accept this small honorarium in exchange for the remains you've provided for our study.
Go in peace.
Greetings once again. What brings you back to Aberdeen? Are you here to report on another discovery, perhaps?
Elune light your path.
Ah, I believe you discovered one that was originally being examined by the Explorers League. They have a presence here in Darkshore, and they had mentioned that they were studying one of the beached creatures until they were chased out by the Murlocs. You appear to have succeeded where we both have not. Please, accept this honorarium on behalf of the Temple of the Moon.
May
That was the thresher
stars
with
guide
the wheelbarrow in front of it.
you. xal'atath,
Hello again. Are you here to report on another discovery?
goddess watch over you.
The bones you have are from gentle sea mammals that are known to inhabit the waters surrounding the base of Teldrassil. They had never been known to violently beach themselves like the threshers had been known to. Why would these creatures do this, I wonder? Well, perhaps the study of their remains will bear the fruits of knowledge that we seek. Again, thank you for your aid. Please accept this honorarium from the Temple of the Moon. It's also the text in this quest about how these animals are from the waters, quote, surrounding the base of Teldrassil that makes me think that they're beaching themselves because they're fleeing from Teldrassil's corruption.
Elune light your path.
Hello again. The work you've done on behalf of the Temple of the Moon has been outstanding. Are we to be blessed with more of your effort on our behalf?
Go in peace.
I've heard of the kinds of carriages found on the back of that turtle. Those, I do believe, are Naga carriages, used both in battle and in transportation of their supplies onto land. The markings on the box you found are of the Naga. Perhaps the creature you discovered was killed as it was heading further south? To Ashenvale, maybe? I'll be sure to send this box to Darnassus with the rest of your discoveries. This is for you. Thank you again for your assistance.
May the stars guide you.
Greetings once again. Do you have any more discoveries to report to the Temple of the Moon?
Go in peace.
You found even more beached sea creatures? Sea turtles were commonly found frolicking along the base of Nordrassil before it was destroyed. With the birth of Teldrassil, however, these creatures have been seen in ever-decreasing numbers. Some, as we've discovered, end their lives here for some unknown reason. Your aid will perhaps unlock the mystery before us. Please accept this in exchange for the remains you've provided for our study. Considering that Nordrassil is inland, like we're talking about this far inland, like Hyjal, why were there sea turtles in Nordrassil? But again, it's with the birth of Teldrassil, these creatures have been seen in ever-decreasing numbers. I feel like even though it never explicitly says that it's the corruption of Teldrassil in these quests, it spells it out pretty as straightforward as it can, that really it is the corruption of the World Tree that's causing them to beach themselves. Thanks be to Elune. I'm glad to see you again. The Temple of the Moon's work on the strange beaching phenomena continues here in Darkshore. Might you have anything additional to offer us?
May the stars guide
The
you.
dimensions of the thresher you mention are mind-boggling. Even the eldest of the threshers in this region grow to only a fraction of that size. While some larger ones were known to be close to Teldrassil, their numbers have declined steadily. Cannot help but wonder if these creatures beaching themselves here are somehow related to this. While we analyze the bones you've brought us, please accept this on behalf of the Temple of the Moon. Thank you.
Go in peace.
What's on your mind?
Lemon crab, whipperoop crab, and iron-forged surprise crab. That's about it. Oh, hello there. Do you have them fine crab chunks I was telling you about?
Off with you.
Wow, these fine crab chunks are what I need. Thanks. I found this while I was fishing a while ago, and I have no use for it. Maybe you can do something with it? It sure don't make any good crab dishes. I told you all about crabs, right?
See you soon.
Okay, and then I completed Murk Deep. Attention. A reward is being offered for the death of the Murloc Murkdeep. This foul beast is known to be responsible for the death of at least one sentinel and is suspected of causing the sinking of at least 2 cargo vessels in the waters off Darkshore. Side note, I wonder if those were the cargo vessels we retrieved the lockboxes from for the other quest. They're in different locations, but maybe. Murkdeep was last spotted at a hutted Murloc camp south of Aberdeen and is thought to be protecting the huts there. Reward claims for this bounty should be claimed with Sentinel Glinda Alshay in Aberdeen. The Aberdeen Village Council.
Hello.
Well, looks like you're here to more than just inquire. The citizens will be delighted to know that tonight they will sleep a little bit more soundly and safer. You've acted as the executioner of justice for the people of Aberdeen today. For that, I would like to offer you this as a suitable reward for a true hero of the Aberdeen people.
Farewell.
So there's a breadcrumb quest from Teldrassil that also takes you here. Once you go around getting the vials of water from all of the different moon wells, you bring them to Fandral Staghelm, and then Fandral Staghelm gives you a quest to come to the Grove of Ancients. And it says, if you had enough time to run messages for the Oracle Tree, then I'm sure that I can press you into service to deliver a message to the Grove of the Ancients in Darkshore, due south of Aberdeen. You will most likely have to secure transport on a hippogriff, but I have faith enough in you that you can manage that. Take this to Onu, the Ancient of Lore. He has been awaiting word from me even as I waited for news from the Oracle Glade. Ah, Druid. How may Onu assist you? Ah, thank you. It is strange, though. The Archdruid always seems in such a hurry. The forest knows that all shall come to pass in the appointed time. Shando's storm rage understood that. You are here. Good. We have matters to discuss, you and I. It is strange that the Naga are here in Darkshore, but stranger still are the Twilight's Hammer, the cult warships, the old lords of the earth, lords defeated long ago. The Master's Glaive to the south is a place where such an old lord fell. Go there and look for more Twilight's Hammer cultists. Take this vial of scrying. Use it to create a scrying bowl after searching the Master's Glaive. Then speak to me through the bowl. So, a bit of a note about the Master's Glaive, because, again, as with many classic quests, this is not actually going to tell us what's going on with it. We don't learn until Cataclysm, actually, the truth behind the Master's Glaive. So, the RPG, which is not canon, and I know I bring it up every time, but I like to mention RPG lore even though it's not canon, because at one point it technically was, and I feel like a lot of the stuff that we get out of Classic is sort of closer to the lore that was in the RPG, or at least that in some part the RPG lore is also based off of what we get in Classic, and then some things really changed when it came to Cataclysm. So, in the non-canon RPG, we are told that the Master's Glaive is the resting location, the resting site of one of the old gods, and that it was actually a Night Elf holy site, which I sort of feel like is probably no longer true. Even though it's not canon anymore, I feel like that was probably never the case. And this quest also tells us that it was the location of one of the old lords of the earth, which is not explicitly old god, but is along the same lines. And this is back when we had the lore that I think there were 5 old gods, if I'm correct, which has since been retconned, at least that we know of. Because there's 4. We have Cthulhu, Yogg-Saron, N'Zoth, and Y'Shaarj. Now, technically, G'huun counts as a 5th, but G'huun was a Titan-created old god. He was not actually, like, an old god native to Azeroth. So, technically, by the strictest definition, I guess there are 5 old gods if you count G'huun. But I digress. Now, we learn in Cataclysm that what's here is not actually an old god. This turns out to be one of the Naraki, one of the faceless ones, named Sagoth the Slithering, and he's actually one of the heralds of the old gods. One of a few that we know. I think another is Akumai, the last boss in the Black Fathom Deeps, and incidentally, xal'atath, though I don't think she ever refers to herself as the Herald of the Old Gods. I think she's just like the Herald of the Black Empire, or more broadly, the Herald of the Void. But not to get too ahead of myself. So this is in fact not an old god, but one of the faceless ones. And what happened basically all those years ago is that the Titans had sent 20 stone giants to fight against this guy, and pretty much all of them were killed except for one, who allowed himself to get entangled in Zagoth's tentacles and took out his sword and plunged it into the faceless one, which is pretty much how we got the Master's Glaive. And this is all information that we learn in the Cataclysm version of these quests. And I guess to say a little bit more of that, in the Cataclysm version of these quests, the Twilight's Hammer is actually trying to resurrect the Faceless One buried here, and he does get summoned, but at a fraction of his power, and then you defeat him as part of the quests. Zagoth does pop up as a rare in the Darkshore Warfront 2, but I think in the context of his Cataclysm quests rather than like as a sequel to them, because he has a little buff that says he's only manifested partially in the world, just like his Cataclysm quests. The Twilight's Hammer is at the Master's Glaive? Unfortunate. The old lord impaled by the glaive is long dead, but that does not mean slivers of his power do not still remain. The Twilight's Hammer must be seeking this power. The Twilight's Hammer's purpose at the Master's Glaive is not known, but it must be dark. Search through their camp at the Glaive. Search for something that may teach us their intentions, for we must learn their intentions before a plan is made. This book is hand-printed in an ancient language and illustrated by a master artist. Peering into the Twilight Tome is maddening. Text begins to swim and dance after only a moment's glance, and once beautiful scrollwork twists into grotesque shapes. Tearing away one page of insane scribbles is all that is possible before a swoon overtakes you.
What is nature's call?
Help! I was wandering around the Master's Glaive, and these dirty cultists surrounded me. Lucky I'm good at hiding. Can you help me out of here? And I need to send word to my sister Therasil that I'm alright. She's in Ashenvale to the south, at the Shrine of Aecina. Okay, let's go. You return. Chaotic primal magic surrounds this parchment of scribbles. I sense the work of the old ones in it. Let us hope it reveals the purpose of the Twilight's Hammer in Darkshore. Onu studies the parchment from the Twilight Tome. Onu is struck by unleashed magic. The parchment you found at the Master's Glaive is a page from an ancient text, written by elves. It is heavily cursed and tainted by the corruption of the Twilight's Hammer, but it seems the cult is using ancient elven magic to bring their old masters back to our world. Travel to the ruins of Mithistra to the northeast, and search for ancient relics among the grass and broken stones. Through their study, we may divine how the Twilight's Hammer intends to exploit the magic of the elves. There's cat figurines in these ruins, and I actually think this gets a callback in the Rise of Azura patch, because you get an achievement in Nazjatar, I think, for finding like cat figurines all around the zone. Fun fact. And I think there's like additional information in it or something about how Azura just didn't like cats, which is sort of funny. Has your rooting through the ruins of Mithistra been fruitful? Thank you. These relics are from a time when Mithistra shone. That once great bastion of the elves has faded, but shards of its magic remain. Let us hope we can unlock the secrets of that place before our enemies. Be vigilant. I have wonder, because I think the Cataclysm version of these quests connects them. if the Naga are working with the Twilight cultists, since technically at this point in time the Naga are on the side of the old gods, since Ajora's deal with N'Zoth. Yeah, okay, I looked it up. So, in the Kata version of these quests, it says that the Naga are in league with the Twilight's Hammer. So I wonder if the reason that the Twilight's Hammer came by that book in the Master's Glaive was because of the Naga either finding it or giving it to them, and that the Naga are looking for artifacts in Mythystra to help, I guess, bring the old ones back, like Onu is saying that they're doing in the quest. Because I feel like in the classic Darkshore version, it seems like the Naga and the Twilight's Hammer are just working on separate things, but actually they're connected in their missions, pretty much. You hear singing coming from Buzzbox 525. I don't want to sing this. The crawler wine's sweet, and thresher ale fine, and moonstalker moonshine is grand. There's nothing so dear as a thistle-bear beer, and soon I shall have some on hand. The hatch is open and awaits the 4 grizzled scalps as you hear the song repeated over and over. So you got the scalps in. That's so great. What? Well, yes, I suppose you've realized that I can speak to you without the materials in the machine. But I was telling the truth when I said they were broken. See, in addition to being communication tools, the buzzboxes also brew and distill fine liquor. Sorry for any deception, but the Nidos did not appreciate my liquor trade in their towns. I put something special in this box to show my gratitude for your efforts. Enjoy!
Hi, how are you?
Have you found me broke-down key, landlubber?
Alrighty then.
Avast, you scurvy sea dog! You did it! Soon we first may be back in working order, and them beasties won't know what hit 'em. Have you seen me first mate?
Be seeing you.
Landlubber, you need to find me first mate. Take this in key, puts it in his Gulliver, and bring him back here to serve the captain. The Murlocs and their chief ain't gonna be too happy once me first mate gets a hold of him.
Off and away. Pleased to meet you.
Yar, ye be proving yourself to be more than a yellow sea dog, landlubber. The captain may promote ye to poop deck swabby if ye be keeping this up.
Alrighty then.
Greetings.
I can't in good conscience permit you to seek Volcor until I've crafted that cloak for you.
Farewell.
These will do nicely. I shall set to work on the cloak immediately. Give me a few moments, then return to me. Oh, one more thing. After you've used the enchantment on the cloak, you'll be limited in your interactions with others. If you can help it, do no more than speak to others. Much more than that could dispel the illusion.
May the stars guide you.
The cloak is complete. The time has come to find Volcor. I can only hope we are in time. The cloak's magic, once invoked, will not last long. Perhaps 5 minutes. It would be up to you to know when to use it. I would suggest waiting until you find Grimclaw. If what he has told me is true, you'll find his master in a cave south of here. Grimclaw will be alongside the road waiting for you. Signal to him by waving when you see him, and he'll point the way towards his master.
Good luck, friend.
Taranthus begins to cast a spell as you take the cloak from him. Go now. Find Volcor. And remember, the magics protecting you will fail if you interact with anyone, save for talking.
Greetings.
Volcor doesn't look at you at all as you get close to him. He seems to be concentrating on keeping his bandages from falling off. After a moment, he looks up at you, a little startled. Oh, sorry, Druid. Now's not a good time. I hope you understand.
Goodbye, Ashar.
Wonderful! Taranthus found someone to help me. And look, a Moonstalker cloak. Oh, that hurts. Thank you. The furbogs wounded me before I managed to evade them. Give me a moment and I should be fine to talk some more.
Farewell.
Well, the way I see it, we have 2 options to consider for leaving this cave. We can make our way stealthily. I use the cloak you've given me and you'd be left to your own devices. Or, and this may be a harder option considering my wounds, we fight our way out back to back. I'll let you decide since you know your strengths better than I.
Del Nadres.
I'm a stealth girly. I do not like fighting through these mobs. Alright then, if you're sure, we'll sneak out of here. Let us leave when you're ready. Remember, after you've escaped, meet to rent this back in Aberdeen. I'll head there on my own since I'll probably be moving faster than you.
Goodbye.
Thank you again. I'll make my way to the road now. When you can, find Terenthus and let him know we escaped. Volkor roars as his form shifts and he runs off. I was traveling to Aberdeen with an important message when I was attacked by the Furbog Marash and his trackers. During the attack I was poisoned, leaving me barely able to stand. I can make an antidote, but it will take time before it is ready. I would ask that you defend me until I can apply the antidote. I'll aid you with my bow as best I can. Should we survive, I will be able to deliver my message to Aberdeen. Will you speak with Onaya at Maestra's post to inform her of this incident? Wait, did you hear that? Something approaches from the west. Praise Alone. I don't know if I could have survived the day without you, friend. My leg feels much better now. The remedy must be working. If you'll excuse me, I must go report to my superiors about what has transpired here. Please speak with Sentinel Onaya at Maestra's post in Ashenvale, and she will see to it that you are properly rewarded for your bravery this day.
What's on your mind?
Holly, is that you? Need some help chiseling this stone. Hand me my stone brush, I think I see something. Hey, you're not Holly. Don't suppose you've seen my stone brush? Never mind that now. Promised the leak I'd send the mysterious fossil I found. Where did Holly go? So much work to be done. Now where is that mysterious fossil? And my brush? And Holly? And who are you? 'Tis no matter, so long as you're here to help. Let me know when you're ready to start looking.
Be good.
So then Holly... Oh, that's right. You're not Holly. Where's Holly? That's beside the point. We must find that stone brush. I mean, the mysterious fossil. We must find that fossil. The Explorers League in Darnassus will want some indication as to what I've been doing. Let me know when you're ready and we'll hunt down that brush. I mean, fossil. We shall find something in writing to satisfy the League. So are you ready yet?
See you soon.
Okay, let's go find where I left that mysterious fossil. Follow me. I felt really silly for not realizing this earlier, but these are totally Titan ruins! Because since we learned in the Kata version of the Master's Glaive quest that that was technically a faceless one, and that the Titans literally sent stone giants to fight against it, this must have been like the Titan encampment, I guess? Ah, I remember now. I gave the mysterious fossil to Holly. Check with her. Prospector Remtravel goes back to work, oblivious to everything around him.
How are you?
Thank the stars Prospector Remtravel is safe. I told you he was absent-minded. Can't believe he insisted on staying there with all those horrible creatures lurking about.
Keep your feet on the ground.
So the Prospector wants to send the mysterious fossil to the Explorers League in Darnassus? I don't feel right leaving Darkshore without him. Here, deliver the mysterious fossil to Chief Archaeologist Grey Whisker in Darnassus.
Safe travels.
I don't think I'm going to follow this questline through to its conclusion because the rest of it pretty much happens in wetlands. But I will say pretty much that the fossil you find, you end up pairing with another relic, and it summons a Titan Keeper, or at least like the, I don't want to say illusion, but the apparition of one, I guess, who honestly doesn't really tell you a whole lot. In the Cataclysm version of the quests, he gives you a little bit more information, says something about how there's a diagnostic fail and that the aspects must be alerted because the site has been compromised. And then he apparently shows up as a rare in the Battle for Darkshore Warfront, interestingly enough, but it doesn't really tell us much about what's actually going on with regards to that. I guess just maybe that, the Titan Keepers are involved, and as usual, they are keeping a diagnostic check running on everything, and that this one has, I guess, failed. And that's sort of it.
Ishnuala.
I'm pleased to see you've returned successfully. Your assistance to Volcor has given me faith that we can overcome the challenges facing us here in Darkshore and beyond.
Go in peace.
I picked up this quest earlier, but since she's popping up here, I might as well read it out now. Tarenthus, Rain sent me to find you. The Sentinels are in need of help in Ashenvale. Hello, Solarin. I am afraid I cannot help you at the moment, but perhaps some of the adventurers here in Aberdeen can. Thank you, Tarenthus. I shall remain here for as long as I can. Hopefully I can send a worthy few to help Ashenvale and the Sentinels. My mistress Rain Wolfrunner awaits you in the city of Astronar within Ashenvale. With your help, perhaps we can at least ease some of the corruption that's taken hold there. Head south from here and stay close to the road. You'll find your way there without issue if you follow those directions. I was on my way to Maestra's Post to meet Lilidris Moonriver, but I decided to stop here and take a short nap. Ever since I awoke from the Emerald Dream, I've been so sleepy. Would you mind showing me the way? I understand that Maestra's Post is south of here, along the road in Ashenvale. It can be dangerous, so I hope you have some friends that will join us. Lastly, I may fall asleep, so if you ever need to wake me, please use my horn. You'll find it in the chest here.
The sleeper has awakened.
Lilidris has been waiting for me at Maestra's Post, so we should make haste. Oh, I can see Lilidris from here. Tell her I'm here, won't you?
Goddess, bless
Has
you.
Kerlonian arrived?
Elune.
Oh, I'm so happy Kerlonian made it. And I'm sure I'll find him sleeping somewhere around here, won't I? Thank you for showing him the way.
May the stars guide you. How may I help?
You bring most welcome news, Druid. It is good to hear that Ainasha is alive and well thanks to you. I would hope that you might accept a reward for your valor. May Elune watch over you and light your path.
Del Nadris.
Hi!
My sister was where? Therilune doesn't mind getting herself dirty, but still. That's a long way to wander, and the Master's Glaive is an unwholesome place. Well, thank you. It was very nice of you to let me know she's all right.
I am honored. Goddess, watch over
Ah,
you.
a druid from Darkshore. Solarin has done well to send you here so quickly. I wish your trip here wasn't under such dire stress. Perhaps with your help, we can improve matters. I would start my visit by speaking to the other citizens of Astronar. Some could surely use your aid.
Good luck, friend.
And with that, we have finished Darkshore. I wasn't going to do this. I didn't do the Tower of Outtakes quests, and I think it's because I'm going to save them for their own separate video, since that questline technically spans from Darkshore through Ashenvale, because it's like a long questline with sort of some significant lore to it. I'm just going to do a separate video for that. The only other things I skipped in Darkshore were the fishing quests. So maybe you can't call it a true, like, lore master run. But you know what? For skipping 2 quests, close enough. Good enough for me. So that is our lore master run of Darkshore. And then next time, we're gonna get into Ashenvale and pick up all these quests in Astronar and start with that. So thank you for joining me for my Darkshore lore master playthrough, and I hope to see you for Ashenvale. Yes, Mars. Great. Fabulous. Awesome. Okay. Please. Alright, odds I die doing this quest. This is so hard today. If I die again, we are going to pretend that I never did this quest. No, come back here. Ah! With the burst of... The burst? Oh god, it's still there! It knows! I hate this quest. I don't like these things. I don't want it. I don't want it. Okay, I'm literally... Guess there wouldn't be like a Darkshore video without me dying at least once.